And when I go away, she kind of says to me that I don't love her, I'm abandoning her, and I'm just wondering, I'm trying to forgive her. And can I forgive her while I live with her?
I hired all my family. I hired my friend whose husband was a drug addict. I hired these are all high school friends. Her husband was out of work. I have 4 sisters. 3 of them worked for me.
I get sometimes these, not sometimes, all the time, thoughts to call my children. We're all close. We're all here in Virginia, so we see each other often. But every day, like if I have time, if I'm working in the garden, I'll get a thought that says, you should call this one, you should call that one, you should call that one. And if I call one and they don't answer, I call the other one.
I wanted to know when will we know as human beings what's right or wrong, or will we never know?
It's just that easy. You don't ever have to you don't ever struggle anymore with, anger or, any of that.
Hi, Jesse. I just want to let you know that you're so awesome and you make me laugh so much. You're like really, really funny, and I just admire how calm and hilarious you are. But
you black. Heard around the world. Hey, Lily.
Hello there. How are you, Jesse?
All is well. How are you?
I can't believe I'm live on air. Thank you so much for taking my call. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, ask a question, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm living with my mother and my father. Unfortunately, my dad passed away, and my mother nearly passed away on the same day, but luckily she kind of survived. And then after that, I've kind of been living with her, feeling guilty, really. And I've been going away. And when I go away, she kind of says to me that I don't love her, I'm abandoning her. And I'm just wondering, I'm trying to forgive her. And can I forgive her while I live with her? And she says these kind of things to me. Or should I prioritize, moving away, which is something that I feel like I need to. I feel like I can't escape,
Absolutely. Forgive her for what she's done to you and is still doing. And and God will release you from her hell, and you will have no guilt, and you will be able to either stay if you want to or leave if you want to, but you will not feel guilty either way. You are not responsible for her at all.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 25 right now.
Oh, okay. And why haven't you already forgiven her?
I guess it's just the guiltiness, it's what I get told.
Get told by who? Your mother?
Yeah.
Well, your mother's evil. She doesn't love you. It's about her. She doesn't care about you at all, because if she cared about you, she would set you free.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Jesse. Yeah.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
I have been doing the silent prayer. I've been finding it difficult, I'm trying to monitor my thoughts. But yeah, mainly doing it at night. But I guess I've been watching you and you've been saying do it morning and night. So I definitely need to be a bit more regular with it.
Yeah, do it every morning, every night. And then during the day, sometimes if you get caught up in your head, practice coming back to your body, being aware of your body. And God is with you, and you'll be able to live your life. You are not. There was a guy at our fellowship yesterday. I think he was like 40 something. I thought he was younger, but I think he told me he was 40 something. Right, James?
Mm-hmm.
And
48.
Huh?
48.
Wow. And his mother has made him feel guilty, and now he's stuck with her, raising her.
Yeah.
But mothers are evil, and they are about themselves. They care nothing about the children. So forgive her. And then if you want to move out, move out. If you want to stay, stay. But let it be your choice and not out of guilt. You have no reason to be feeling guilty.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Jesse. I appreciate you. We're definitely going to move out for sure, I think.
Let me know how it goes, all right? How it goes.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. God bless, Jesse.
You too. Men and women, your mothers and or grandmothers, most of the time it's the mothers. Once in a while you hear someone say the father did it, but that's rare. Your mothers and grandmothers are evil for making you feel guilty and making you feel that you're somehow or another responsible for them. You're not. And I know a lot of people now, a lot around the world, that are not having their life. They're not living their life because they're stuck with their mothers and our grandmother. And then if they do try to move away and have a life, they got to haul her along with her. You're not responsible for your parents. And the clue is you're doing something you don't want to do is when you have the guilt. That's not love. If you were free, and if you wanted to help, you would. If you don't, you don't. But you wouldn't feel anything about it either way. Go have your life. Can you imagine getting stuck with your mama all your life? What the? Everyone I know and everyone I've ever met who's been stuck with their mother, you can see that they're weak individuals. They have not developed mentally, emotionally, or physically because they're doing something they hate doing. Even though they try to tell us, I love my mom, I'm going to take care of it. No, you don't. You absolutely don't. Lil.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Lil.
Well, yeah. Hi. You and I counseled together 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I'm the Mother Teresa of employers.
Amazing.
Remember, I hired all my family. I hired my friend whose husband was a drug addict. I hired these are all high school friends. Her husband was out of work. I hired, I have 4 sisters. 3 of them worked for me. On and on and on. Now none of them, or they barely speak to me. And I was a very nice employer. Someone might say, well, what did you do? No, I was very nice. I was very generous. They could come and go when they wanted. And now they all badmouth me. You helped me so much in our one-on-one because when I go there and think about how hurt I've been and what a burden I've been to my husband, and I love men, by the way, I've been able to dismiss those thoughts to the point where I'm not on my antidepressant anymore. And it's, as you would say, it's been amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, but I would love to hear you talk more about families and fake love. Big, huge Irish Catholic family I come from. We were always, blood is thicker than water. You defend each other. And they'll defend the person on the street that they don't know, and they'll go to bat for that person. But not one has stood up for me. My niece worked for me. She stole from me. She lied about me, gossiped about me all over my hometown. And I just would love to hear you talk about that a little bit more. I don't really have a question. I'm sorry.
You want to hear about the fake love in the family?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Number one is that everything you did for all those employees, the people you hired, your neighbors, your family members, all that, that was fake love. You did it because you wanted them to see you in a certain light. You wanted them to see you as a good person, a giving person. And you wanted that so you can feel good about yourself, right?
Yes.
With a fake feeling. And so they didn't care about you either. They took advantage of your weakness, and they never loved you. And so there's not one family that has family members that love one another. It's not real love. It's emotional love. And emotional love is evil. It's all ego. It's all vanity. It has nothing to do with God. It's all about self. And the Satan is the God of emotional people. So you never loved them and they never loved you. And that's why you did it. So when they treated you the way they treated you, turned against you, gossip about you, doing all that, it hurt your feelings because you expected them to treat you the way you had treated them, and none of it was real. And so just be glad to see that, and don't be angry about it, and keep your eyes on you, but don't judge yourself. Watch the thoughts and the feelings. Just watch them, and God will take them away from you and give you real love, a brand new nature, which is his nature, which is real love. And real love don't need love or anything from anyone.
Mm. Okay. Yeah.
So don't be mad at the people that did that to you. They could not see either. They was told that emotions were love. That family are just family this and family that, and it put the wrong kind of pressure on family, because when you do that, you're expecting something from the family.
I get it.
You want them to act a certain way, be a certain way, and then they're expecting something from you. It's like a marriage. When you get married, you're expecting something from your husband, and he's expecting something from you, and all you get is war. You just catch hell. But if you have no expectation from anyone, you'll be fine.
And I hear that, and boy, do I owe my husband an apology for years of being that emotional woman.
Have you apologized to him yet?
I think I have, but I'll apologize again.
Have you apologized to him yet?
He's listening on the computer. Let me open the door and ask him if I've apologized.
No, you don't have. I want you know the answer to it. Don't ask him yet. Have you apologized to your husband for dumping all your hell on him and not respecting the order?
No.
And why not?
Because I didn't see it until I listened to you. I thought the whole kit and caboodle was about me running the show.
Yeah, I understand that. You didn't see it. And that's the problem with human beings. Until God allowed us to see, and he only allowed those to see who want to see. You just didn't know. You just didn't see. You didn't know. And now that you do know, apologize to him and continue to work on yourself. He is not to blame for anything, any emotions you have, so-called good ones or bad ones. You were already screwed up when he met you.
Totally.
Yeah, so apologize and just work on yourself. I'm telling you, your life will be amazing. It'll happen on its own because God will guide it, and your life is already created. It's already is what it is, and if you just relax and let it happen, it's going to be mind-blowing. And get rid of those people who have turned on you. Wish them well. Don't be angry at them. Wish them well, and don't have anything to do with them.
Jesse, this is I just thought of this. Do I owe those people an apology?
No.
Who worked for me?
No.
Okay.
No, just be glad you
How
can.
come?
Be glad that you can see who they really are, and realize just as you couldn't see, they couldn't see and can't see. So you just wish them well and move on with your life.
Got it. I can't thank you enough.
Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
I'm going to hang up and apologize to my husband. But I'm going to keep listening to you.
Right on. And good to hear.
I think you're so wise and brilliant, and I thank you so much.
You're welcome. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Amazing. You know, I do counseling by phone, Skype, or in-house, and the stories I've heard around the world, what the devil is doing through human beings, mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. It's like every human being, there's not one, is possessed by evil. And they don't know it. They call it post-traumatic and loneliness and all this, but it's pure evil in the mind and emotions. And it's weird. I mean, when I say we're, it's not without understanding now that the world push emotions as good, and they're pushing evil. They're worshiping the devil, and they're calling him God. Della, Della. Hey, Della, out of Virginia. Welcome to the show. Hey, Della, you sound far away.
In Virginia.
Now that's clear. Thank you for calling. Good to hear from you.
Oh, thank you. I have a question. I get sometimes these, not sometimes, all the time, thoughts to call my children. We're all close. We're all here in Virginia, so we see each other often. But every day, like if I have time, if I'm working in the garden, I'll get a thought that says, you should call this one. You should call that one. You should call that one. And if I call one and they don't answer, I call the other one. And I'm just wondering, is that normal? Is that the devil?
That's
Should
100.
I not pay attention to that?
Yes, that's 100% evil. It's 100% the devil. And every time you obey those thoughts, you're worshiping the devil. It's not you. They're not from God. And it's not necessary to be calling them like that. You need to get them, and you say you see them sometime anyway. You need to get them space.
Okay.
But no, I want you to
true.
test that, Della. Don't call them when the thoughts say call and see what happens. It's going to blow your mind.
Well, that's why I called you, because I want to call them. I'm going to call Jesse.
No, stop worshiping the devil.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm doing a silent prayer every day and every night, so feel good about that.
Right on.
Things are going really well. But I have a question. You know the saying, only the good die young?
Right.
So if someone dies and they're older, are they dying on God's schedule or on our schedule as we see time? You know what I mean? Like if someone dies in their 70s or 80s, they can still be good because maybe in God's eyes they should have lived to be 120.
Well,
or do we judge it on numbers? Like if you know what I mean? I mean, it's a weird question. I've been thinking about it a lot.
Well, first of all, this saying only the good die young, that's a lie. That's not true.
Oh. Well, good. Okay.
And then secondly, the body is going to, because the body is in time, the body is going to fade away anyway at some point. And it's all depending on how you take care of the body. And we tend not to take very good care of our bodies when we're young. We eat all the wrong kind of food. We don't get as much rest. We drink and party and carry on. So we rush the destruction of the body when we're young. And by the time you get old, the body's so worn down, it's hard to keep it on earth as long as it could stay. But that saying is just a made-up lie.
Okay. That's all I needed then. Hope you're doing well.
I am. Della, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. And don't do what the thoughts say do. And you will have the voice of God guiding you. It will take over when you doubt the devil.
Thank you, Jesse.
I wish you well, and good to hear from you.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Rosa, welcome to the show.
Hi, do you hear me?
Loud and clear, yes.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi.
I had a question. I wanted to know when will we know as human beings when what's right or wrong, or will we never know? That's my question.
When you stop listening to the thoughts and emotions, you should know the truth.
So eventually you can know the truth.
As soon
what's right or wrong, I mean.
The moment you stop listening to thoughts, in that very moment you will know the truth.
Okay, and I had another question. Can we be God or only be like God as human beings?
You cannot be God.
Okay. Can we be like God?
You can have his, and once you overcome that ego nature, you will have his nature. So you will have the nature of the Father, and yes, you will be like the Father. Because you will be the daughter.
Because I was a little bit confused about that question. I had that question always because there are a lot of people who say sometimes they're God, but that's not possible. As I hear you saying, it's only possible to be like Him.
If they tell you they are God, don't believe them.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That was it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Rosa. Carolyn, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Oh my goodness! Wow, thank you so much for taking my call, Jesse.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
How's it going? How is your day?
Amazing. Thank you.
Well, so I just wanted to call because my husband and I have recently, been listening to you. We listen to you almost every day, and we've been noticing a lot of the things that you say and how they're real in our lives with, just like our thoughts and intellect and all of these things being of the devil and, guiding us in the wrong way. And so we're in the process. I haven't in person forgiven my mother and father, but they're coming into town and I really want to do that. But we have a baby on the way. We have a little baby boy. He's coming June 13th is his day of delivery. And I feel a lot of nervousness about, how to avoid raising him with the spirit of evil, or how to avoid imposing my will on him. And so I just wanted some advice on that, on what advice you would give to expecting mothers.
Number one, you got to forgive your mother and your father so you can return to the Father. And if you do that, because you truly see for yourself that you do have this anger toward your parents, especially your mother, and forgive her, God will take the anger spirit away from you, and He will replace it with perfect love. And there will be no way that you can pass on anger to your kids, because you will only have the nature of love. You'll be fine.
It's just that easy. You don't ever have to you don't ever struggle anymore with, anger or, any of that.
If you no longer have the spirit of anger inside of you, how can you struggle with something that's not in your nature anymore?
Well, I guess you can't.
Right. He'll take it away from you because it's a spirit. It has never been you, but when your mother traumatized you, you became angry, escaped into your imagination, and you've been living there all your life, which is darkness, which is death. There's no love in the imagination, no light, only darkness. And He'll bring you out of that.
So what would be your definition of perfect love? Because I've heard you say God's love is dispassionate, but what does that mean?
It means that you no longer have anger, which means you no longer have fear, which means that you no longer play God in your own life, or you don't have any anger toward another person at all, your enemy or anyone, because you realize they cannot see, so you have perfect peace.
Do you ever get angry anymore?
No. How can you get angry if it's not in you?
It seems too good to be true.
God, remember Christ on the cross said it was finished?
Mm-hmm.
He did that for you. All your sins have been washed away, and you're free, but you just don't know it because you've been told by your family member in churches that you're a sinner, who you need to be saved, and you're wrong, and you're this, and you have identified with the wrong nature, which is the nature of the devil. The real you is already free, but you've been living in not you.
I mean, that makes so much sense. How would you define real love, like God's love?
No anger, no judgment. Just the ability to see, but not to judge.
And my last question, thank you so much. I wrote all these down. I've been listening to you for a while. I just wanted to call in. But so why do you think that men marry women if if the women haven't, gone through this process yet, and they have this, their father is the devil, and they have this anger, and are imposing their will on the children, then why would men marry women to start a family with them and make all these sacrifices if they know that nothing good is going to come from it?
But the men don't know it because they have their mother's nature, and they're trying to get mother's love, and they're trying to get it through the woman, and it just end up the same battle that their fathers were in. The cycle repeats itself. But if the men were to forgive their mothers and then just seek the kingdom of God, and if God want them to have a wife, he will add it to them, add her unto them, and it'll be perfect. But they don't know what they're getting into, and the women don't know what they're getting into either. That's why and they end up fighting one another because they realize, oh my God, they try to get something they don't have. He's trying to get something from her, and she's trying to get something from him, which is love, and neither one have love.
Yeah. Do you think that God ever puts people in each other's lives, even if they're flawed, to help each other get out of that evil?
No. God never put flawed people together. God sent his son that you may be perfect in life because he is perfect, and that you would live in the present with him, and he will add all things to you. He doesn't need to make you feel pain about anything. He doesn't need to put something flawed into your life. He wants you to see and be free at all times. He wants you to be one.
This is amazing.
Amazing. Satan is the one that bringing all the suffering on because no one told you while you were growing up not to be angry at your mother, not to be angry at your father. And that way, if you had never been made to be angry, your parents would not have been able to brainwash you. The schools, the world would not have been able to brainwash you. But you became angry and you went into darkness and you lost your innocence.
Yeah. Do you think women have to stay home? Like, we have a house and a mortgage, and do you think that when we have this baby, I should stop working and just be with the baby?
Of course, that's between you and your husband's decision. Your husband make that decision. But the right thing to do is to stay home and raise his children.
And I know you also talk a lot about free will. You don't think that people have free will?
No one has a free will.
So why is there so much debating about it when, like, people, these, Bible thumpers, these Christians, they all debate about free will? And
because they're lost. They're lost and they can't see, and they're trying to make themselves be right, and it's never going to work.
Because there is nothing we've created. It's just whether you are following the devil or God.
Absolutely.
Right?
And anyone that has anger, I don't care who it is, anyone that has anger, Satan is their God, and they're obeying the devil and calling him God. Anyone that has overcome anger is following God. God is your God. You're never in control of anything. You have nothing to do with anything. You never made a decision. You don't know what you want of yourself. You can do nothing. And as soon as you realize that, you can be free.
And if I do have to go back to work for some time, my husband, he works from home, so like the baby would be with him. I don't know. I mean, it's just a hard thing. It's really hard with like how expensive everything is nowadays,
Yeah, and most parents are not, especially women parents, are unwilling to cut back. They got to have what their ego want, and they don't care about the children, and they don't want to make a sacrifice for the children. I dare you to ask me to cut back to stay home and raise a child. What the? How is that going to look to my girlfriends? How is that going to look to me? I ain't making no sense. You want me to live in a 2-bedroom instead of a 4-bedroom?
We already live in a 2-bedroom, but it's a very nice part of town.
So let me ask because of time. I hope you got all your questions in.
That was everything.
Do you obey your husband?
Yes, sir.
And your parents are coming. Will you forgive them when they get there?
I want to. Yeah, I want to say it to their faces because I called them and I said it over the phone, but I don't think I did it right.
Well, once you truly see that you have this anger toward them, and most of the adult and young kids don't resent the father; they yearn for the father. And those who do resent their father is resenting their father with their mother's anger, not because the father did anything to them, but they have identified with the mother and they resent the father for that reason, but they still yearn for the father. But when you see that you do have to say, hey, I'm sorry for being angry. I realize now you can help yourself. When you see it for yourself, I'm telling you, if you truly see it and you truly see that you're wrong for being angry and forgive them, you're going to see the light will come on and then the death of the ego will take place.
I think that's exactly what happened because when I said it over the phone to my mom, and I told my mom and my dad, I told them, I'm sorry for resenting you and I forgive you guys. They started going into it. My mom started saying like, oh, well, your dad did this and, it wasn't all my fault. And she was like all defensive. And she was saying your dad thought you were his aunt and were treating you like his sister. And I had to protect you from him and all this stuff.
What an evil woman.
Yeah.
And you're going to let her come to your house?
Well, she's got to see her grandchild. And
why? She's going to screw up. She's going to do to your child what she's done to you.
I can't stop that?
Yeah, by keeping her away from your house.
Yeah. That's a hard one, Jesse. That is a hard one.
Tell your husband to help you protect you from your mother.
Okay. I'll tell him. He's good at that. He's always good at standing up.
Right on. He's there to protect you from evil.
He has protected me from evil already.
Nice.
So much. We've been married 2 years, and I love him so much. He's amazing.
Right
on. He's amazing.
Amazing. Well, I got to run. Stay with the silent prayer and forgive your mother and father. And don't feel like you got to let, especially your mother, if she's unwilling to let that anger go, I would just be clear, hey, I can't let you around my child. You got anger. You're going to do to my child what you've done to me. That's why God said when a man get married, he should take his family far away from his family and her family so that the cycle doesn't repeat itself with the next generation.
Thank you so much, Jesse. We will listen to you every day. I really appreciate you taking my call.
You're welcome. Stay with us. Stay with us. Stay with us. Let me go to Sophie out of Della. Sophie, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. I just want to let you know that you're so awesome and you make me laugh so much. You're like really, really funny, and I just admire how calm and hilarious you are. But
you black?
No, I'm talking about
I'm black.
Oh, you're black. Oh, okay. I was like, no, I'm not black.
Oh, but go ahead.
Okay, so I have a question. So I've never
Sophie,
been married.
hold that thought
sir.
for me. Let me take a quick break. Sophie, go ahead.
Hi, Jesse. Okay, so I have a quick question. Okay, so I've never been married. I don't have children, and I'm home with my mom, and I just wanted to know is that okay? My family's Mexican and everything, and like all my cousins are they're not married, but they have children and they live with people or whatever. And is that something that I don't have to join in that, right? Like, is that okay? Because I've heard you before said that, in order, the reason for two people to get married is, to have babies. And since I don't want to have children, and the reason why I don't want to have children is because last year I got diagnosed with breast cancer, and the genetics said that if I was to have children, then my kids will have like a 50% chance of getting cancer too. So that was like another reason why I was like, okay, well then now for sure I don't want to have children. But, you know, like I would like to be married, but I know that I'm still kind of hesitant because I'm kind of scared that a guy will be like, well, you know, I do want to have children. You know what I'm saying? Like, does my question make sense?
Yes. How old are you?
I'm 38.
Do you want to be at home with your mother?
You know, yeah, I do because she's super dope. Like, she's really
She's super
cool.
what?
And she's dope. Like, she's a cool
She's on
person.
dope?
No, like dope means like she's cool. Like, no,
Oh.
she's not on.
You have a cool mama?
Yeah, I have a cool mom.
And so you like having a cool mama?
Yeah, I like having a cool mom because she's very efficient and she knows a lot of things, and a lot of the wisdom that she has, I've like learned from her.
Oh, and so you want to be there with her?
I do want to be with her because.
And so your question to me is what?
My question to you is, should I be getting married, or should I just chill and?
You should only get married if you want to, not for any other. If you want to have kids, if you want to get married, fine. If you don't know, then don't do it, because it's natural for women to want to get married, but not. Don't put it first in your life. You should only want what's right above all things and all people, all things. And then if you want to get married, fine. If you don't, fine. You're not wrong either way.
Oh, okay. So, but if I don't want to have children, it'll be okay if someone proposes to me and say, hey, I want to marry you?
But be clear with him that you're not going to be able to have children. You're not having children. You should be upfront and clear with him before you get married, you know, so that he doesn't find out later that you didn't want children, because he may want to get married to have children.
So
but if you find somebody that, if somebody is added to you, they don't want to have kids, you don't want to have kids, you're not getting married to not be lonely and all that crap. If you're just getting married, you're married. But if you're not going to have children, I don't see a reason to get married.
I see. Okay. Well, so you don't think, I don't, so you don't think that, okay, like, let's say if I did want to get married. Okay, so now I understand. So now I get why a lot of guys do stop talking to me, because I'm really upfront about the whole, you know, not having kids thing.
Yeah.
Or if I meet a guy that has kids, I really don't want to be with the guy who has kids, because it's not fair to the kids, is what I think. But so do you think that's why guys stop talking to me, because I say I don't want to have kids? Or
I don't know, unless they want kids. And most guys want kids. Some don't, but most do. And if they do stop talking to you, I mean, when you tell them, well, I don't want to have kids, and I may have breast cancer or whatever, and if they stop, and just ask them, what do you think about that? You should ask straight up front. That way you know for sure, because I don't know.
Well, I'm cancer-free. Like, the cancer's out, but, like, should I, okay, well, let me ask you this. On the first date, should I tell them, hey, I had breast cancer, I don't, like, do I put it all out at the first date, or do I wait until the fifth date?
Yeah, wait until the fifth date.
Oh, okay.
Because it may just not last anyway. Maybe they don't like you and you don't like them anyway. Why tell all your business?
Right. Okay. Just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah, one step at a time.
Okay. And let them do more of the talking and not just sit there and listen?
Well, I wouldn't plan that either way. I'll just wait and see and just stay present.
Okay. And I really like how you said before, like, don't think too much, don't follow too much in your thoughts. And ever since you said that, that's really been helpful for me. So I just want to say thank you for everything that you do. You're so funny, and I just like how straightforward and direct you are, and there needs to be more people like that in the world. You're
welcome, and stay with us, and just live your life and let life happen.
Yes, sir, I will. Thank you so much for your advice.
You're welcome, Sophie. Call me again.
I sure will. I'll keep you updated.
And tell your dope mother I said hello.
I sure will. I'm going to tell my mama you said hey.
All right.
All right, take care.
All right. Take care now.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Jess, there's a line open, 888-77